There are fishes from the Arctic that move in a certain season, and near England at a certain place they lay their eggs. Before the eggs are ripe, their return journey begins. And when the eggs give birth, the new fish start swimming against the current. The natural course would be to go with the current, but their program is fixed. Against the current they start moving toward the Arctic. And they find their way back to their parents. They will not recognize their parents. There is no need either because these fellows, if they can manage a 3,000-mile journey against the current, don't need any parents, any teachers, any schools, college, universities. They are self-sufficient. This is the meaning of essence preceding existence. They are born with their whole life pattern complete. And they will simply go on unfolding it. They are not going to learn anything. Learning is not for them. They need no learning. They have already got all that they need for their life. Every detail about everything, what to eat, what not to eat. You just look at a buffalo eating grass. And you will be surprised strangely enough, she goes on, leaving certain grasses and eats certain other grasses. You see here so many deer. They prefer a grass called alfalfa, and just now, because we have brought water and planted trees and lawns and made it a green place. And certainly because of the deer. I have told my secretary, take care that so much good alfalfa is grown around that the deer will come automatically. And this will become Deer Park. And I love that term, because Gautama Buddha lived in a deer park. Along with thousands of his disciples. Hundreds of deer also lived in the same place. And our deer are growing. But a danger has started happening. They are eating too much alfalfa. Getting too fat, and for deer that is dangerous. Because once they get too fat they cannot run. Then they are easy prey to any animal, to any hunter. Not only that, when they become too fat, 2 or 3 deer have died. I inquired why they died. The reason was they became so fat they could not walk. They fell over their feet and broke their legs, the weight was too much. Their feet are thin, those feet are not meant for that big a load. So I told my secretary then to either bring more deer, so the alfalfa is not too much, or start cutting down the alfalfa. Because this will kill the poor deer. They don't have a built-in program telling them when to stop. Nature takes care. In nature, nothing goes off balance. If there is too much alfalfa, then deer will start coming more and more from all over the place. If there is less alfalfa, deer will disperse. But our deer are in a difficulty. They cannot go anywhere because they cannot find a place where human beings will not be killing them. This much in 3 years they have understood perfectly well. They know that these are the right people to live with. They stand on the road, they don't bother. You may go on honking the horn, they move with their ease and grace and beauty. They don't bother. They understand that these are our people. So they are not going to leave. And they don't have a built-in program telling them when to stop, so they go on eating. I told that professor, essence is a built-in program. And that's where man is different. Man comes as existence, and essence follows. You are not given a built-in program. You come open-ended, with no directions, with no clear-cut idea of what you are going to be. You exist first, and this is a great difference. The greatest possible difference. You exist first, and then you have to find who you are. The animals, the trees, the rocks, know first who they are. Then they exist, hence there is no spiritual inquiry. No animal bothers asking the questions. Who am I? What is the meaning of my life? He knows it already. There is no question, there is no doubt, no inquiry. Man is a continuous inquiry, a continuous question. To the very last breath he goes on growing. To the very last breath he can change his whole life pattern. He can take a quantum jump. There is no necessity for him to just go on, following the path that he has followed. At the very last moment he simply can step aside. There is nobody to prevent him, it is his freedom. Man is the only animal in existence that has freedom. And out of the freedom is agony. Agony means I don't know who I am. I don't know where I am going and why I am going. I don't know whether whatever I am doing I am supposed to do or not. The question continuously remains, not even for a single moment. Does the question leave? Whatever you do, the question is there. Are you sure? Is it the thing for you to do? Is this the place for you to be? The question leaves not even for a single moment. And this is as deep as anything can be in you, at the very core of your being. This is the agony that the meaning is not known. That the purpose is not known, that the goal is not known. It seems as if we are accidental, that by some accident we are born. No other animal, no tree, no bird is accidental, they are planned. Existence has a whole program for them. Man seems to be totally different. Existence has left man utterly free. Once you become aware of this situation, then agony arises. And it is fortunate to feel it. That's why I say it is not ordinary pain, suffering, misery. It is very extraordinary, and it is of tremendous value to your whole life. It's growth, that you should feel agony. That each fiber of your being should feel the questioning, that you should become simply a question. And naturally it is frightening. You are left in a chaos. But out of this very chaos the stars are born. If you don't start stuffing yourself out of fear. If you don't start escaping from your agony. Everybody is trying to escape, finding ways, falling in love. Doing this, doing that, staying somehow, somewhere engaged. One thing is not finished. And you start doing another thing because you are afraid. If there is a gap between the two, and the question raises its head, and you start feeling agony, then it is better to continue, to go on running, don't stop. People start running from their birth till they die. They don't stop, they don't sit by the side of the road under a tree. To me the statues of Buddha and Mahavira in the East, sitting in a lotus posture under a tree, do not mean anything historical. They mean something far more significant. These are the people who have stopped running. These are the people who have stepped out of the road, on which the whole procession of humanity is going. They are real dropouts, not the California type, which within a few years drops in again. No, these are real dropouts, who never drop in again. Sitting under a tree is just representative. You will be surprised to know that after Buddha's death, for 500 years, his statue was not made. Instead of a statue only a tree was made. For 500 years, in the temple that were made and dedicated to Buddha, there was only a tree carved on the stone or marble, nothing else. It was enough to remind one to step out of the road, because this has been for thousands of years. The tradition, to plant trees on both sides of Indian roads, huge trees with big branches, almost meeting over the middle of the road so the road is completely covered with shadow. Even in the hottest summer you can go on the road in coolness, in the shadow. So the tree became the symbol. The road is the world, where everybody is going somewhere, trying to find something, and in fact basically trying to forget himself because it hurts. To remember oneself hurts, and the only thing that everybody is doing is to get engaged, concentrated after money, after power, after this, after that. Become a painter, become a poet, become a musician, become someone and go on becoming. Don't stop, because if you stop you become aware of your hurt, the wound starts opening up. So don't give it a chance. This is the road.